Well, from the knowledge of previous class, we know that the frequency domain analysis of the system is actually you can find the frequency domain analysis as the analysis performed when a sinusoidal input is provided and steady state is achieved. Accordingly, you can say that the frequency domain analysis is the analysis to the sinusoidal input when steady state is achieved. And we have found in the previous class that the output of an LTI system to the sinusoidal input is exactly the sinusoidal in nature, but with a change in amplitude and phase, while the frequency of the output is going to remain exactly to the frequency of the input provided to the LTI system. We have found that the change in amplitude is such that the new amplitude means the amplitude at output capital Y is defined as the input amplitude multiplied by the transfer function of the system, you can say G J omega, sinusoidal transfer function of the system at that frequency. So you can say the amplitude of the output will be equal to input amplitude multiplied by mod of G J omega at omega is equal to omega input. And there is a change in phase also, it may be leading or lagging, or it may be zero also. So the change in phase will be given by phi is equal to angle of G J omega at omega is equal to omega. Hence we can conclude that this change in phase and change in amplitude are the only changes which occur when we are going to analyze the steady state response to a sinusoidal input, or accordingly you can say when you are going to analyze the frequency response of a system. Correct? Then we have listed the various graphical methods to analyze the frequency response to a system, and namely Bode plot, then polar plot. Under polar plot we had divided into two parts: direct polar plot and inverse polar plot. The third one was Nyquist plot. Fourth one was Nicholas chart. Correct? And we have also stated that since this forward path transfer function G J omega does not provide the useful information, rather you are interested in closed loop stability of the system with the help of open loop stability of the system. So rather than taking just G J omega as a transfer function, we will take G J omega H J omega as a sinusoidal transfer function of the system. Okay, so we are going to start the Bode plot. We are going to start one of the first plot in our frequency domain analysis, that is your Bode plot. Before we will go into the theory of the Bode plot and the method how to trace it, I would like to start with the concept of the Bode plot. That first is that Bode plot is the only method which gives only relative stability, and note the keywords only is used at two places. Means this is the only method available in the control system which gives you only relative stability. Means this cannot give the absolute stability of the system like Raoult-Rayleigh method. So relative stability can also be given by some other method also, which you will read in classes to come, like Nyquist plot. But this is the only method which talks only about relative stability of the system. It does not give absolute stability of the system. Correct? And you know the meaning of relative stability. Well, these relative stabilities are expressed in terms of gain margin and phase margin. Today or maybe in the next class we will define this term, what is the meaning of gain margin and phase margin, and how to conclude the relative stability of the system with the help of gain margin and phase margin. Third point is that this particular Bode method of Bode plot is applicable only to the minimum phase systems. Minimum phase system is a keyword. In the classes to come, we will read about this minimum phase system, all pass system, and maximum phase system, all those. But for the time being, you have to know that minimum phase systems are those systems for which all the poles and zeros of the system lie in the left half of the S-plane. This is somewhat like this. For an open loop stable system, you know that the poles should lie on the left half of the S-plane, but there is no constraint on the zeros of the system. But for minimum phase system, we are putting constant on the zero of the system, and minimum phase system are those systems for which not only poles but zeros also lie on the left half of the S-plane. This particular method of Bode plot is applicable to such type of system only. Why I am saying it is minimum phase? When we will take the classes on this minimum phase, maximum phase and all pass, we will come to know about it. So this was your BK concept. So with this I have started the concept of your Bode plot, correct? So let us go to the Bode plot. So Bode plot basically consists of two parts, correct? One part is that magnitude part and second part is that phase angle part. So magnitude part, in magnitude part we are going to plot the magnitude of sinusoidal transfer function, that is Gj omega Hj omega, when you vary the omega from 0 to infinity, correct? So this will give you the magnitude plot. And in Bode plot, in every method you are going to plot the mod of this plot, mod of this open loop transfer function, but in Bode plot you are going to take x-axis as a logarithmic of this frequency rather than just frequency. So you are going to take log of omega and you will express this magnitude in terms of decibel, and you will say this is mod of G of j omega H j omega in dB. So you will express this in decibel, correct? Second part of this plot is that your phase angle plot. You will use the same x-axis of log omega and you will find the angle, that is G of j omega H of j omega, when your omega changes to 0 to infinity, correct? And you will plot this, but once again you will take log of omega as an x-axis and this angle in degree. Okay, you are going to say, I am going to say this is phi and I am going to say this is magnitude m. So this is magnitude m in dB. You know that when you have to define it in decibel, you will take the logarithmic with a base 10. Means if you are going to define capital M in dB, you will say it is 20 log base 10 m. So m is in dB is nothing but 20 logarithm base 10, and this is m, where m is the magnitude of open loop transfer function and phase phi is the angle which is expressed in the degree. So phi in degree, correct? So this plot consists of two parts. One is magnitude part and second one is phase part. You have to trace both of these parts on the same sheet, same graphical sheet. Since the x-axis you have taken is log of omega, correct? So you know from your previous knowledge of your class 12 or I think class 11 mathematics, the graph of logarithmic function, suppose this is x and I am going to define fx is equal to log of base x with log of x with base a. When this base a is greater than 1, your graph will be like this. I am plotting the graph of logarithmic function. This is for a greater than 1, and I have just defined that while plotting the Bode plot, you are going to take as a base 10. This point will be always, whatever may be the base, it will be always 1, 0, correct? This will pass to the 1, 0 point, and if 10, I am going to take a as a 10, correct? If it will be a will be between 0 to 1, this graph will look like this. But since we are going to work on the log with a base 10, so we will be concerned with this graph that is depicted in red color, correct? So please note that you are going to take x-axis as a log of angular frequency, and here I have depicted the graph of log of x, or you can say with base a, that is equal to 10. So this is the graph. So when this is 0, when x tends to 0, just by seeing this graph you can say log of x will change to minus infinity. So this x is equal to 0. At x is equal to 0, you will not be able to plot the graph of log x, or you can say the graph of this your board plot. So you have to choose any suitable value of omega which is greater than 0. It may be omega may be 0.1, 0.01, 0.001, depending upon the transfer function of the system. We will read when this choice of omega is going to be dependent upon the transfer function of the system. But whatever it may be, you can't take omega is equal to 0, because in board plot you are going to plot this value, means 20 log of base 10 mod of g j omega h j omega with the variation of this omega, and you can't take value of omega is from 0 exactly 0. Though theoretically you say that we are going to plot from omega tends to 0 to omega tends to infinity. This is omega tends to 0 to omega tends to infinity, but on graph sheet you can't take omega is equal to exactly equal to 0. Why? Because when you will take omega will be equal to 0, the corresponding point will become minus infinity. So it will be difficult to plot this particular point. So you can't take omega is equal to 0. So omega should not be equal to 0. This is one of the fundamental concepts behind the board plot. Second is that it consists of two parts. One is magnitude plot, second one is phase plot. These two parts are plotted on the same graph paper, and then we will draw the conclusion that how relatively stable it is. So rather than taking the x-axis as a log omega, means you do not have to take the value of omega and each time you have to calculate log of omega for tracing the board plot. Rather, the scholars have developed a graph sheet which is already scaled as a log of omega. At y-axis, it is scaled as a linear scale, log of omega at x-axis and linear scale at y-axis. This particular graph sheet is known as semi-log graph sheet. So let us see the fundamental of this semi-log graph sheet. Correct? This will look like this. This is your semi-log graph sheet. Correct? Please note that. Please focus your attention on the x-axis and y-axis both. Please note that this will be a cyclic in nature. Means it is the start from this point 1. After that 1. The graph is cramped at 10, means the value, the spacing is more at 1, and then the 2 is, if you try to observe it as a linear, it will have more space between 1 and 2, and it will have less space between 9 and 10, or you can say 10 and 9. So this graph is cramped toward higher value. So also you should note that the x-axis is logarithmic of value whatever you want to put. So you will just take the value of omega and you will just locate it. It will automatically give you the log of omega. Correct? And at the y-axis it is a linear scale. Correct? So for semi-log sheet, x-axis is a logarithmic scale and y-axis is a linear scale. First point. Second point is that, so linear scale, I don't think there will be any problem. When you will try to trace this board plot on this particular semi-log sheet, you will come to know how to plot magnitude plot and angle plot simultaneously on this semi-log sheet. But there is a problem with your x-axis because it is already expressed in the logarithmic of omega, and I think you might have never plot, might have never used such type of graph sheet in your schooling, correct? So x-axis will start from, try to analyze this. This is your x-axis. I am saying whatever quantity you will take, it will automatically give you the value of logarithmic of that particular quantity. So we are interested in angular frequency omega of the input. So it will automatically give log of omega. No need to put the value of omega and then find the log. Rather than just put the value of omega here on the semi-log graph sheet, it will automatically will be expressed according to the log of omega. So here it is 1, then you can say 10, then you can say 10 square, 10 cube, and 10 to the power 4. This one spacing where the value, final value is 10 times that of your initial value is known as 1 decade of this graph. So this particular thing where value varies from 1 to 10, this is 1 decade, then this one is second decade, this one is third decade, fourth decade, and likewise. And so you can say, also you can say these are the cycle, 1 cycle, 2 cycle, 3 cycle, 4 cycle, 5 cycle. So here how many cycles are there? I think 6 cycles of these values are depicted in this particular semi-logs, correct? Now you are interested in value of omega. You are varying the value of omega. Omega is what? Nothing but the frequency of your sinusoidal input. So you are interested in value of omega, correct? So you will take omega and whatever may be value you will find m in dB, and here you will try to find phi in degree, correct? So you can't take omega is equal to 0, because whenever you will take omega is equal to 0, the log, this log sheet will not work, because you know that there is no minus infinite point is depicted here. So you have to take any suitable value. Suppose you are going to take 0.1. So you will take values like 0.1, 0.2, then 10, then 100, then 200 likewise. So this is depicted as 1, 10, 10 to the power 2, 10 to the power 3, 10 to the power 4 like this. This is already available on the graph sheet. Now, when you are interested in board plot a particular system, you will going to define these axes. So if you are going to take point 1 as the minimum point in which you are interested, you are satisfied with this point 1, that this point 1 is going to cover whole of the zeros and whole of the transfer function, then you will take this point as a point 1. You will write with a pencil that this is point 1. Below this margin and below this scale, you will write this is point 1. So this point will be 10 times this point 1. So it will become point 1 for your graph. Correct? So you have to choose this suitably. This will become what? 10 for your graph. This will become 100 for your graph, and this will accordingly 1000 for your graph. Suppose you have encountered a transfer function which is having a pole. We will let us see when we will solve the example, such that you cannot cover this pole with this 0.01 omega. Rather than you have to choose that for 0.01. So you will define 0.01 as a minimum point, and you will say that this is 0.01 is the value of input which tends to 0. It is dependent upon you. You can directly take 1.1, 0.01, 0.00, whatever 0 you want to use in this analysis, but it is going to be dependent upon your transfer function, because if transfer function having no pole or 0 at below this value and you are going to use that 0.001, your graph will be not completed within this 6 cycle. So you have to accordingly adjust. Correct? So if you take 0.01, this will become 10 times, it will become 0.1, this will become 1, and likewise. Correct? I think I am clear to my point about semi-logs. Okay. Now coming to the board plot. What exactly you are going to plot? I have just said limitation of Bode plot is that it is applicable only to the minimum phase transfer function at the beginning of this class. Correct? So we are going to represent whatever transfer function you will have, we are going to represent in the time constant form. I have already discussed the time constant form, and if you have missed that particular class, you can refer this particular form. Means k multiplied by 1 plus some constant with s, means 1 plus some time constant multiplied by s. Such type of form is known as time constant form divided by s to the power p, where p is the type of the system. While discussing type and order of the system, capital TYP, I think you might have remembered. This is the time constant form of the system, where p is the type of the system. Please note that we have not taken any point or any pole or any zero of the open loop function which lie in the right half of the expression. Correct? All poles and zeros for this value, capital value of t, will lie on the left half of the expression. That's why it is a minimum phase transfer function. If somebody some negative term will appear and somebody is going to say that trace this polar plot, they will say not possible, because this is the limitation of polar plot, can't be used for other than a minimum phase transfer function. Correct? So this is the type of the system, and as you can say, as is a zero pole at 0, or you can say pole at origin, and all these terms are either simple poles. I am going to 1 plus what is given T1s are the simple poles. Example of simple zero actually. Simple zeros, maybe T2, T3, T4, whatever may be, maybe it will depend upon the transfer function you are going to analyze. And 1 plus T8s will be simple pole. Simple. Correct? So first, whatever the transfer function you are going to analyze, first represent that transfer function in this particular form, where k, capital K, is the gain of the system. Represent in time constant form. These T1, T2, T3 and T8, TB, TC are the time constant of the system. Correct? So first represent your transfer function in this time constant form, and then since you are working on the frequency response of the system, so find the sinusoidal transfer function of this time constant form of the transfer function, or you can represent, or equivalently you can say represent the transfer function, the transfer function into sinusoidal form of transfer function. Correct? So for this you will put S is equal to j omega in this particular form. In time constant form you will put S is equal to j omega, then you will get you can say sinusoidal transfer function in time constant form. Why we are putting S is equal to j omega? Why we are not putting S is equal to sigma plus j omega? I have already discussed all this masala in the previous class. Correct? Okay. So this you will get as a sinusoidal transfer function. Correct? So please note that we are interested in actually the gain, mode of gain and phi, angle of this open loop transfer function. So there are many constituents in this term. It may be consist of it will consist of a gain k. Correct? Gain k. Gain k is going to contribute to the magnitude plot and also to the angle plot. What will be the angle contribution by this gain k? Can anybody say? 0 degree, of course, because gain k is a purely real quantity, whether it may be appear with a negative sign or whether it is going to appear with a positive sign. It is going to be lie on real axis itself. So the angle with the positive side of the sigma axis will be 0. So the angle contribution by this gain k will be 0, while you can say the magnitude contribution will be somewhat like this. You can say magnitude contribution by this gain k only will be what? 20 log base 10 with gain k. Suppose gain k is 100. So suppose for example gain k, let gain k is 100. So your magnitude contribution will be what? 20 multiplied by log, that is 40 dB. So on the graph sheet it is going to be, whole of the graph is going to be shipped by 20 dB with respect to the value of gain k is equal to 1. So if suppose the whole the transfer function is same, and in one case k is equal to 1 and in second case k is equal to 100. So in second case the graph will be shifted by 20 dB on y-axis. Correct? We will see all these contributions. Once again there are simple zero, like 1 plus t1s it will be a simple 0, 1 plus t2s will be a simple 0 at some particular point, while s is equal to divided in denominator you can say s to the power b. Correct? It will be a pole at origin, or equivalently you can also have a 0 at origin, and these are 1 plus TAS, 1 plus TBS will be the contribution of simple poles at a given point. So all these factors are going to contribute into your graph of Bode plot, and equivalently you can say all these factors are going to contribute into the magnitude of the open loop transfer function and phase of the open loop transfer function. Correct? So what we will plot as a Bode plot will be somewhat a linear approximation of the actual value. Correct? In the root locus also we have not plotted the root locus point by point, rather we have applied some rule to plot the root locus and we have approximated the value except those key points. Similarly, we will also plot this graph as a linear approximation of the actual thing. So what may be the maximum error in this linear approximation, we will calculate it and we will see the contribution of each of these factors. Correct?